Kairi Nasai Minasan. Today we're gonna talk about Kamen Rider Geats episode 46. This is a really amazing episode because the era of Dark Kewa has officially ended. Okay, the arc of Dark Kewa finally ended in the last 5 episodes of the series itself. You heard me right. We're gonna end the series on 27th of August. Means we only have 4 more episodes to go. And I have to say, final form for Buffa, I don't think it's coming, guys. Like, I really don't think Mao Buffa is coming because so far we haven't seen any possibility that Buffa is gonna get a final form during the series itself. We might actually see Buffa gaining his final form in a V Cinema, kind of like what happened to Kamen Rider. Like, not what was the name? Kamen Rider Demons itself. We actually see his final form in the movie itself, and I believe Buffa is gonna have something similar as well because Buffa is also the 4th rider in the series, and Kamen Rider Demons is also the 4th rider. Not really like the 4th rider. If you consider, like, I don't know, okay, but he's gonna have his final form in the V Cinema. I think that is what I believe, okay, because like within the last 4 episodes, you give Buffa a kind of like a sudden final form review. It's gonna felt really rushed, and there's like, why now? Okay, like he has already defeated Beroba in this episode, so there's no reason to give Buffa a power up right now. Okay, so I mean, I believe some of you guys might actually still disagree with me, but I just believe that we are not gonna see Buffa final form in the main series itself. We might see Buffa final form during the V Cinema, like what I actually mentioned just now. But with that being said, a few things I just want to quickly run through after watching this episode. The first thing is the becoming a statue thing for the creation god or goddesses, because at first we are being led to believe the reason why Mitsune actually became a statue itself is because Sueru is actually the guy that turned Mitsune into a statue. But after seeing what happened to Ukyo S in this episode, it really makes me wonder, like, are they always meant to be a statue? At the end of the day, after they fulfill so many wishes, their end goal is always gonna become a statue itself. And if that is the case, then you could argue that maybe Mitsune is not, like, Sueru did not okay, maybe I was wrong here. Sueru is still bad for trying to utilize Mitsune as a tool for the DGP game itself, because what they did with Mitsune that is so evil is that they actually force her to collect the gira from different people, and then forces her to access the power of creation. Okay, like basically they went from they kind of like contain the power of the goddess of creation, and they kind of like use it to their own benefit, something like that. Okay, it makes sense now. Like, so what we establish here in this episode is, no matter anyone that has the power of creation, by the end of their lifespan, or if they use a lot of wish granting ability, at the end of the day they are gonna become a statue. Okay, so maybe the series is gonna end with either S losing the power of creation, like he wishes that, hey, I wish that I don't have the power of creation, and that might actually save him from becoming a god of creation. Or maybe the end of the series, we are actually gonna see S actually became a statue and kind of like become a living legend for the rest of the rider itself, because like right now we actually get to see a couple of people is actually believing in S, and right now he is like kind of like his loyal disciple that is worshipping him, something like that. Like, if you want to put into the god perspective, something like that. Okay, but another thing that I really love in this episode is the conversation Tycoon and S actually have in this episode. S actually tells Kewa, hey, I know you're angry, but at the end of the day, you need to see that you need to hate the sin and not the sinner. You cannot like just because someone did something wrong and you hate that person for the rest of their life, and you don't believe that they have the ability to feel guilty, they don't have the ability to make a mistake or maybe like regret what they did, something like that. So that is exactly what Keiwa did. He hated the sinner, and the sinner in this case is Buffa. Buffa was being deemed a sinner by Keiwa, and that is why he wants to punish Buffa. But right now right now Ace is actually telling Keiwa, hey, everyone makes mistake, and Buffa is actively trying to help you revive your sister. Can you forgive him? You might not be able to forgive his sin, but you can actually forgive him as a person itself. And this is a saying that a lot of the time that my church actually says, okay? Like, I felt like nowadays a lot of people is gonna be really quick to judge, like, hey, that guy is a sinner and all those stuff, blah blah blah, don't befriend him, something like that. But I think at the end of the day, we need to know what we are actually hating. We hate the sin and not the sinner. Like, even like Jesus, like when he died on the cross, okay, like he died on the cross because he loved the people, but he cannot accept the fact that we are sinning. So the problem is the sin and not us, okay? Like, he still loves us, but he cannot accept us for sinning, something like that. So it's kind of like a similar concept, like we can disagree on certain thing, but it doesn't mean that I don't care about you, something like that. It's like you can say McDonald's is better than KFC. Like, maybe me personally, I am a KFC stan, so I'm gonna say like, oh, you are wrong and all those stuff. That doesn't mean we cannot be friends. We can still be friends. You can still love your McD, I can still love my KFC. At the end of the day, we are still friends, okay? That is what I'm trying to say here. Like, even though you are wrong. Okay, so, and then the next thing we want to talk about is emo Sumuri, dark Sumuri, or whatever, what Sumuri you want to call her. Maybe don't call her black Sumuri, you know, it's a little bit sensitive, but I'm just gonna call her emo Sumu because that is how she actually looks like, because she was created from the tears of Sumuri itself. So calling her emo Sumu is not actually such a bad idea, okay? So emo Sumu wears black, all black. There's a little bit of white in the dress itself, looks really good, but she is being created by Jito to become not the goddess of creation, but rather the goddess of destruction itself. So that is really interesting to actually see, like a sudden twist. At the end of the day, we actually got two Sumuri right now. So hey, are we actually gonna see kind of like two Sumuri surviving the series? At the end of the day, we are gonna have, it actually reminds me of Izu and Azu from Kamen Rider 01, because like Izu is the one that with Hiden Aruto, and then Azu is the one that become kind of like a what was the arc vessel, something like that. I'm not sure what to actually call her, but yeah, she is there, okay? So she is there. But with that being said, I think this episode, one thing that they did really well is to explain how the hell did Buffa manage to defeat Beroba in this episode, because we know that Beroba actually have the black card itself, and it has been mentioned to us that hey, Beroba have the black card, so we can, like, Buffa cannot defeat Beroba no matter how strong he is. So Buffa actually challenged Beroba in a duel itself, and Beroba actually uses his normal card, his Kamen Rider card, rather than his premium card itself. And a lot of people is gonna say that hey, the premium is not actually Kamen Rider itself, it is actually like a premium thing. It is not Kamen Rider best power. So the power of Buffa to kind of the Kamen Rider cheat code is gonna be able to be activated when he is fighting with the premium Beroba, but he can actually use that Kamen Rider cheat code on Kamen Rider Beroba itself. So this is Buffa fighting with his mind, okay? He challenged Beroba in a duel so that he can actually use his last power of, I'm not sure whether or not he still have the power of the Kamen Rider destroying or not. Oh, or he just never actually uses it, because like a lot of people actually says that, oh, he actually loses his Kamen Rider destruction power, but after what we saw in this episode, we can clearly see that he can still like summon the power or awaken the power, or I'm not sure whether or not this is kind of like his last power for Kamen Rider cheat code, or this is just like he revealed to us he can actually tap into the power of Kamen Rider cheat code, something like that. Okay, so that is just something that I really love in this episode, to kind of like they did not make Buffa suddenly become too strong where he can suddenly out of nowhere defeat Premium Barrelbar. He actually defeated Kamen Rider Barrelbar, so that is something really amazing, and something that I really love. Okay, so I think that's the end for this episode. After Barrelbar got defeated, we get to see Keiwa's like rescuing Buffa, and Keikera actually kind of like, hey Keiwa, look out, I'm gonna give you a bad end, something like that, and the episode ended. Okay, so we got 4 more episodes to go, and a lot of fun thing waiting for us in the future. So we're just gonna wait and see what is gonna come for the next few episodes. But that is all from me. Hope you enjoy. If you made this far into the video, means you love my content. I would love you to comment the word Boo Frog in the comment section below to let me know you actually finished the video itself. Why Boo Frog? Because Buffa and why frog? Okay, I don't know, just type Boo Frog. That is all. Goodbye.